The Bears.
Because of the way they play the nickel corner here, and the nickel corner plays 88-85% of the snaps. He's got to be like part linebacker.
The Bears.
When you're in a scouting room, there's going to be differences of opinion.
The Bears.
Well, you're looking at traits. And remember when he tested very, very well.
The Bears.
Greg, why are teams wrong on quarterback evaluation so up?
Number one, it's a hard position to evaluate.
Former Bears scouting director Greg Gabriel talks football live every week on the Barroom Network. Also available on demand.
Look, I think it's a good time to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot to be excited about. But let me tell you something. We are past the point of excuses. If things go sour, you have used up all of the patience that Chicago has to offer.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Barflies, welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's done by Barflies for Barflies and all the other Bears fans out there. What's going on, fellas? For me last week while I was in Cincinnati watching my Chicago Cubs drop a 1-0 game to the Cincinnati Reds. But while I was in the stadium, I heard lots of Reds fans upset at their Bengals, and then later our Chicago Bears took on quote-unquote America's team and absolutely looked on fire, did everything we needed to do, but that's neither here nor there. How y'all doing this week? C-Dub, I'll start with you, and we'll hit our introductions here, man. How was your week, Chris?
I'm doing great, mate. Apart from turning 52 on Thursday, I'm not doing too bad, mate. Turning 52 feels a lot older than 50 for some strange reason. It feels like you're on your way to 60, and I don't quite like that at all. But yeah, it was a great victory last week, man. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I've been looking all week to chat with you boys so we can break it down. And yeah, everything's good over here, mate.
Yeah, man, it's a happy belated birthday. We all told you in the chat. You know, you're Khalil Mack. You know, you got the 5.2s that you finally hit that this year. So
I'm just thinking like 52 is like the new 32. That's what I'm banking on.
Is that what they say?
Well, nobody says it, but I'm going to start it now. It makes me feel better. That 52 is the new 32.
Well, KB, I know you're not exactly 52, but how was your week, brother? How you doing, man?
Shit, I ain't exactly 52, but I feel 52. You know what I'm saying? These old bones, you know what I'm saying? I get the food and they sit down, and that's it. You don't get back up, brother. That's it. But you have to throw that young happy birthday again, my boy C-Dub, man. You know what I'm saying? We hit up with a happy birthday. You know, we another year around the sun for my boy, man. Happy for him.
Just about.
So, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Last week was a doozy. See what we're expecting this week. You know how it is.
Yeah, we'll get into all that. I don't know, Tooch, how you doing, man? I know you're known as the pessimistic one. How were you last week, and how you feeling about today?
I feel all right about today. I mean, I can't get past the feeling that it's a classic letdown spot with the Bears. They rode so high, beating up on the Cowboys, and heading out to Vegas, a road, afternoon road game. But it's definitely a beatable team. Their offensive line is not that great. Their run offense has been, bottom. The offensive line, their passing offense pretty good, and there's one guy you really got to look out for on the defense who's going to be lining up against Theo Benedict. So that's something Ben Johnson and will have to scheme. Get some extra time for Caleb to throw. But the improvement from last year to this year on offense is markedly great. I mean, just the numbers, the pass routes, the concepts, the scheming guys open, all of it. And Caleb has been a big part of that. He's played fantastic. And this year, where last year he didn't look like the best of the draft class, this year he definitely looks like the best of the draft class. So that is definitely, a feather in his cap. Ben Johnson has been working on him with all that stuff. The footwork looks good, the calmness in the pocket, and he's been accurate deep, which all last year, that was a big knock on him. He couldn't hit the deep pass, but the Raiders are hitting the deep pass at an exceptional rate with their guys, Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers. And of course, Brock Bowers is patrolling the middle there. So, the Bears pass defense is taking a hit. We hopefully get Kyler Gordon back today. So that should help. He's questionable though. Losing Jalen Johnson, man, you couldn't write a worse script for the start for our defense. And then the cornerbacks that are healthy, Tyreek Stevenson's played pretty good. After that game in Detroit, he played pretty good last week. But my bottom feeling is like, are the Bears really good, or were the Cowboys just really awful? Of course, knocking out CeeDee Lamb last. I got that injury here. Look at that. Look at his ankle.
Yeah.
Man, it's like bent 90 degrees. So, yeah, we caught a break there, and held the Cowboys. Our offense held the Cowboys to 14 points. That's something to be happy about.
I mean, you got to think as well, too, that the Dallas Cowboys offense is fourth in the league overall, their offense. So you think like we had a defense that gave up a 50 burger the previous week.
Yep.
With all them injuries as well. All I can say is hats off to Dennis Allen. I thought he did an absolutely amazing coaching job.
Yeah.
To hold that offense down at 14 yards,
Yep.
Like I said, with all them injuries, then that was a massive turnaround. I think Stevenson sort of set the tone when he got the forced fumble. Yeah, the sideline on their second play. I think that sort of rattled him. And I think that was the best game he played all season. I think his form picked up throughout the game. But I would just like going hats off to the defense, man. I mean, I'm a bit of an offensive guy, but to swing around now, I mean, I know Detroit are a very good team and they look like they're probably going to be the best team in our division at this moment in time. But even so, to turn it around and to hold the fourth best overall offense in the league to 14 points, hats off to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely, I mean, turning the ball over was crucial for us in that game last week. It seemed like Dallas just, like you said, Tooch, I'm not sure if we were playing really well or if they were just playing really bad because they were running the ball at will and then they'd get down there to the goal line and try to throw it around and guys would, shout out to our defense for taking advantage of mistakes, but the Tremaine Edmonds.
You know where I was thinking I caught your wavelength.
Yeah. Our defense showed up and turned the ball over and took advantage, and our offense was able to take advantage. You know, Ben Johnson was in his bag. The flea flicker was a thing of absolute beauty, and I don't know if you guys have Bears PTSD like I do, but when the ball leaves the screen, I cringe so often because how often have we as Bears fans been seeing a safety on the other side and intercepted? But you know, like you said, too, Caleb was on point and hitting those deep balls. It was a thing of beauty last week.
That flea flicker, you know, just going back to the flea flicker real quick, Chris. Bears are souls. Zimmerman and Aldo and I and the gang there were trying to remember when, and I've been watching Bears for 51 years, Bears football. I don't remember them ever completing a successful flea flicker, or at least running one. I can't remember. Someone said there was a game against New Orleans back with Mitch, but it really wasn't. It was like a reverse pitch. It wasn't a true flea flicker. No. So, I mean, this is a completely different Bears team, but go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, but it's about the flea flicker as well. I mean, the most amazing thing is that he got the ball high from the Swift because Swift got knocked into it, and then he threw it flat-footed, and it was just like you were throwing a 20-yard pass, and he couldn't have put it in any better position because he put it onto his outside shoulder. So, like you were saying, AC regarding like usually a safety will come over and pick it off, and that's probably at best. I think it's like the longest pass of the season so far, and. Yep. I haven't seen the Bears play that exciting and that sort of explosive for a long time. It was fucking awesome, and it was like quite another tick of all against the Caleb haters. That's another tick in the box. That is
62.1 yards in the air is the longest play in the NFL this year. KB, you remember the Bears ever running a flea flicker before? I can't.
Not at all.
It's a different team.
I went back and looked up too, and I think the closest thing it was that reverse pass that got through the Trubisky and Trubisky talk. Yeah. So no, no, we don't do those things.
Yeah.
And what did you guys think about the when we were fourth down near the goal line and we could have gone for 3, but he went for the touchdown? Luckily, we got it. What did you think of that goal? Because I was just going, take the free, because we hadn't done too well on fourth down conversions the previous week, and I'm thinking, oh no, is it going to backfire? But luckily, we got it into goal. What were your guys' thoughts on that play call?
Again, it's a totally different Bears team because that was a 19-play drive. The last time we had a 19-play drive was 2009 against the Saints. Also, I think against the Ravens. I'm sorry, against the Ravens, but it ended up in a turnover. Okay, here we go. Barrelissimo's got it. Bears ran the flea flicker on the 85 team, on right to Willie Gault, right sidelines. Okay, I thought I had a memory of Jim McMahon running it. I just couldn't.
Well, was that the Super Bowl?
No, I think it was during the season.
All right.
Yeah, but 19-play drives, flea flickers.
Every time I see it.
Yeah, it's a different Bears team, Bears offense. Every
time I see a highlight of Willie Gault, I just feel like he was just running wide open out there. I don't know. It's a different era, I guess. But, it was it's crazy to see exciting offense out of this Bears team. But on the other hand, a lot of people in the chat, myself included, a little worried about this defense. Matt Fochese says no pass rush help doesn't help. Barrelissimo's talking about our, we're like you said, I think last week, Tooch, or maybe the week before, this is the 5th most expensive defense in the league, and we just gave up 52 points. So we need those high cap hits we need to get our money's worth out of them. Fochese with a super chat here. Let me pop this up here. Says this needs said. Yes, Lamb went out, gets used as an excuse, but we had starters out 2 entire games, just saying. Yeah, Jalen Johnson out indefinitely is definitely a difficult thing. I think Kyler Gordon is making his season debut today, supposed to, so that helps us a lot in the secondary, but I'm still worried about our run defense, fellas. I mean, like I said, the Cowboys were really just stupid. I mean, Javonte Williams was doing whatever he wanted, and they just kind of went away. from him.
And it's been a bit of an issue.
Other than
I would have liked to have seen the Bears
Sorry,
sign Javonte Williams. That guy's a bruiser, man. Plus, he's a great receiver out of the backfield. I think he really would have fit well with this offense. I think we were counting on Roschon Johnson to kind of be that bigger back. But man, we could have signed Javonte in free agency. I know people are like, "Well, he's not. He's a good player, man. He's young too.
He's good in Denver.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say he's good in Denver.
Yep.
I mean,
52 passes last year.
I mean, regarding the run defense, it's been a bit of an issue all the way through training camp and through the off season as well. You know, it's been what's been noticeable week on the defensive side.
Yeah. And, you know, the Bears made some roster moves today. I brought up Jonathan Ford, a big defensive tackle, maybe to help with that run defense against the Raiders. Don't know if he'll be active or not. And then Colston Loveland, questionable. They brought up Steven Carlson. I'm not sure if he's going to be active, Colston. I imagine Carlson will be, though, to have a third tight end. You know, at least three healthy bodies out there. And then you got to figure we're going to see Ozzie Trapillo with Darnell Wright out. You know, at least active. Theo Benedette will get the start, and one of those. I imagine you'll see Cole Kmet lined up next to Benedette quite a bit today, just to kind of.
It's going to have to do.
Yep.
I mean, that's such a down as well because, like, you know, especially the offensive line. All right, they didn't sort of particularly play well run blocking last week. I mean, Swiss only got like 33 yards, but you just thought, you know, we're coming together as a pass blocking unit, and then Wright goes down and. You know, especially against Matt Crosby as well, who's a really great edge rusher. It was like we take a little step forward and a little bit half a step back. We're right going out, but like you say, Tooch, I think they're going to have to, you know, use a tight end on him, double team him, and get the running back to chip him as well when they're going out.
Can we talk a little bit about we have to give some credit to Poles with after last week. Because some of his players really fucking played their asses off in this game, man. Luther, Rome looks good. Rome looks like the best wide receiver out of this class this season. But you know what? Look at what happened.
We said it about Caleb, but Rome's doing it too.
Rome is doing it too. So here's the thing. Last year, Brian Thomas Jr. looked great. You know, this year Shane Waldron goes to Jacksonville. He looks like shit. Last year we had Shane Waldron and Rome couldn't do anything. You know, just the rudimentary pass tree. If you go back and look at the routes that Rome has run this year in comparison to last year, he's running a very diverse route tree this year. You know, and he's a good technician. You know, maybe. You know, they say Malik Neighbors was the best route runner coming out last year. Rome Odunze had to be right there, you know. So we got to give some credit to Poles. Now we're seeing we're gonna see Theo Benedette, which was an undrafted free agent last year. See how he does. He didn't look terrible in the preseason. We'll see his limited action this year. He's kind of held his own. But we got to give some credit to the GM for some of the talent.
Yeah, the Canadian Eagle has showed up and kind of showed, hey, I'm not just your average UDFA. You know, he's came out and held his own, whether it's preseason, and regardless of where they stick him on the left side, they put him on the right side, they use him as motivation to try and get the best out of Braxton Jones, which Barlissimo says he's more concerned with Jones than Benedict, but I got to give props to Braxton Jones. I mean, I know it's a contract year for the guy, but I think he gave up 0 pressures last week, 0 sacks, and you know, doing his job. You know, that's all we can ask is to show up and do your job. You know,
I mean that was the first game that Caleb hadn't been sacked. So you know, hats off to Braxton Jones, man. I mean, he's still working his way back from that injury, and to have no pressures and no sacks, you know, compared to how he was playing in the preseason, is you know, it's something to build on, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jones, I thought played pretty well. I think it's
weapons in the O line.
Yeah.
You say it again, bro.
Tell me about these weapons and the offensive line, man. What you've been seeing out there?
I've seen improvement over 3 weeks, and to me, I think that was kind of the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? You always wanted to see the growth coming from the team because it wasn't going to happen overnight. It wasn't going to be we came out week 1 and we looked like the Detroit Lions of last year and put up 50 points and everything just looked solid. No, it's going to be a process, and I think I think we as fans had to kind of temper yourself to that, to say, hey, this isn't a finished product, and it's not probably going to be a finished product through this year. So seeing the steps it took, yes, it came against a bad Dallas defense. That's neither here nor there to me at this point, because everybody has an NFL team. They played well last week, and then you started to see. We already know that there's something there with Rome and Caleb. They're boys. They've been tied to each other since the draft. I'm not even gonna say the emergence. The two big splash plays by Luther came at the perfect times. You can tell the kid is dialed in. I don't know if anybody's seen the video when they interviewed him in the locker room. And he was like, "Man, I love the end zone." Then start screaming. I'm like, "Hey, okay." I still think Luther might have been one of the 2 or 3 best wide receivers in this draft. For whatever reason, if it was the attitude that he had or his mindset, or whatever the case was, that he slipped. Hey, you got to be happy that we took him and Green Bay didn't take him.
He had a down year. That had to have something to do with it. His production dipped between his last year and the year before.
Yeah,
but
they lost their quarterback.
Yep,
that's a big part of it. I think he mentioned that too.
You can't deny the talent.
Yeah, so and it's sad because you started to see Colston get worked in, and I think Ben kind of made that a point, because the first play out the gate was to Colston. I want to say he got another catch too on that drive, but then you get the injury. It's funny, you see. I seen on Facebook when it was a mention of Colston probably not playing this game. There's like, a lot of fans, we should have took Tyler Warren. We should have took Tyler. He's the same type of tight end that you have in Cole Kmet. Why would you take another Cole Kmet? Yep. That's people. It's like it keeps going over their head. You get revisionist history because you start to see how people play. Yes, Tyler Warren is being featured in the Colts offense. He's their tight end. He's TE1. That's what he is. He's tight end 1. He's being used in an offense. There's a lot of mouths to feed on this Bears offense. A lot of mouths. And that's the first time I believe we can say that in the last 15 years. Mm. So I'm starting to love it. I still do believe we need to do something about running back. Swift is
a lot of good ones next year coming out.
Right. And Swift is Swift. He's not a Batman. I think we talked about this on the podcast on Monday, AC. He's not Batman, bro. He's more of a Robin. He needs somebody else to come in and be the bell cow, and he'd be the change of pace back.
Yeah. Had a pretty good game though.
He had a great game.
Real good game. Yep.
And I think he would benefit more from getting less touches.
Well, he's got a hip injury. He's questionable today. You might see Manungai. You might see a little bit more Manungai today.
Who Manungai and more? Because who's the running back behind Manungai?
No one.
DJ Moore? Yeah. DJ Moore.
I mean, one good thing I saw as well is that the scoring was all spread about with our new school players as well, which is really cool to see that. Caleb's not just sort of zoning in a one wide receiver all the time, which started getting a little bit with Roma Dunze against Detroit. So it was great to see that the ball was spread about, and everybody, a lot of different players got touchdowns.
Yeah, it's a shame that Loveland has had the injury issues this year, because he is a great route runner, man. Mm-hmm. He gets a lot for a guy his size. Gets a lot of separation out of his breaks. We're just Bears fans. We're patient. We want to see this. You want to see Colson Loveland. This guy. He could really be a real catalyst. We need that tight end like the Laporta and the Detroit offense. The kind of player that Travis Kelce is for the Chiefs.
Real quick, can you put Buka's comment up, because that's something I want to be contrarian to, because King Buka's my boy. saying Swift, he is what he is. That's absolutely what we say. He won't get a lot of yards, but yards gets purposeful. That being said, I kind of feel opposite of that because I feel like we're using Swift in a role he shouldn't be used in. You're featuring him, and then you're trying to get him between the tackles. Swift is not a between the tackles runner.
Nope.
I said this on the podcast. He's more of an outside zone off tackle runner. And I think that's what they need to start doing with him. That's why I feel that you need to get somebody in here to be the bruiser back, so to speak. And it's funny because I heard David Montgomery talking, and David Montgomery was like, I hate being called a power back. But you need somebody who can get those tough yards. I feel like DeAndre Swift's usage is he's a big play magnet. He's the guy that you get the ball in his hand and he's gonna make something happen with it, but you got to do it out in space. That's why you get the outside zone run he had, or the off tackle run that he had in that game. Probably one of the best runs I've seen by DeAndre Swift in a while. He hit that side. He was cool. Yeah, man. I don't want to minimize the little yards because that is true, but that's why I said we need somebody in here to take that role from him.
I mean,
be more of a big play guy.
I'm surprised. Would you think that they might? I'm surprised they haven't tried to bring up Britain from the practice squad because he's exactly that's exactly that sort of running back you just been on about, KB. In the pre-season games, he was a north-south pounder, big guy. Just exactly what you described, and I just don't understand how come they just won't give if they're not sort of happy with the one guy and they're not trusting with him yet with the offense, then why not give him a go? Because it's exactly what we need in the backfield right now. You know what I mean? And then that'll probably open the players up for Swift as well, and especially if he's got a bit of a dodgy hip, then can rely on him for the full game. So, I'm quite surprised they haven't brought him up yet from the practice squad with Britain.
Yeah. He looked the best running the ball.
Britton Brown came from
Seattle.
Yeah, and he came from the Raiders.
It was on the Raiders.
Called him up this week. At the very least, you get a little. Well, maybe I guess it's different because Pete Carroll's there now, but he can probably tell you how to attack some of the players on that team that are still there, like Max Crosby or man, Brock Bowers gives me nightmares, dude. I've said every time I've had a microphone in front of me, I watched Brock Bowers as a freshman in college at Georgia, and I was like, is he draft eligible this year? He was a monster then. I mean, the dude was 18, and he was an absolute monster. I have no idea how we're going to cover him. We just have to. And it scares me that we don't have a pass rush because that's the only way you're going to be able to cover him is not give Geno time or vision to see him down the field. But, Ashton Genty, a lot's coming of him. I'm hearing Trent Richardson ringing a bell and stuff of people saying that he's not what they thought he was going to be coming out of the draft. But I think he's just getting his feet under him still. I think Genty will be just fine.
100% of his yards have come after contact. So, I mean, if they're saying he's a bust, they don't know what they're talking about because his O-line is getting hit at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage every play. It's kind of hard to do stuff if you're running back when that's happening. But I mean, a couple numbers on Bowers. Bears defense versus the tight end. Bears have allowed the fourth most targets and third most receptions per game to tight end. So, fear warranted. AC, we have to watch Bowers. I mean, TJ Edwards out doesn't help. I mean, Tremaine and Noah Sewell are going to have their hands full. But
it's so difficult because he's such a different animal. Like, to cover him with your slot receiver, you're at a disadvantage because he's so freaking big. And then to try to cover him with a linebacker, you're at a disadvantage because he's basically a slot receiver. He
really changed that offense.
He's a guy I've been in love with for several years, obviously.
The pass defense has got to come to play. Nashawn Wright versus Jacoby Myers. The Bears defense have allowed average of 6 catches to 76 yards on average to the wide receiver 1. So that matchup is going to be a little bit we have to watch. Nashawn Wright and Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is a very underrated wide receiver.
Hold on. I'm sorry because I got the game on and I just watched Aaron Rodgers scramble 9 yards and pitch the ball back to an old lineman for an additional 2 yards.
Oh my God. And he's celebrating.
Is there any score yet?
Rugby style, mate. That's what it is. Bit of rugby.
Yeah,
no,
DK
he
Metcalf
fumbled
is
it.
basically eating the Vikings alive.
He
DK
fumbled
Metcalf's already
Wow.
got 80
The
yards.
ball bounced
down.
perfectly to the old lineman behind. I thought he
Bounced right to him. I was just watching it too. Yeah. Yeah, the Steelers are up 14-3, I think. Carson Wentz has already thrown an interception, and
Steelers getting ready to score again.
yeah, Aaron Rodgers has found his connection with DK. That's the news.
Wow. 14-3.
That's
Steelers.
taxing
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers building a relationship with his wide receiver one, right?
Damn.
Man, sometimes it works.
Yes, Matthew Fochese, we should have beat Minnesota. Yeah, we should have.
Oh man,
should have definitely beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, are we done talking about last week? Are we going to get into this week now? I know we've already started bringing up numbers and stuff. I kind of jumped on that when we were talking running back. And Fochese gave us a super chat earlier talking about this draft class with running back. Real quick, though, I think we should talk some college ball because we had a great slate of games in college football yesterday. We talked about it before we came on. Notre Dame finally found out that guy wearing number 4 is pretty good. Jeremiah Love may be the best running back in the league. Fochese gets to see a pair of good ones there at Penn State, and they had a hell of a game. They did come up short, and I'm sure he's on the fence about James Franklin out there in Penn State. But, Oregon looks like a national championship contender. Alabama was back.
Utah
we buried Alabama week 1 against Florida State, and they just popped back up like the Undertaker. I don't know. They just
Oregon hadn't beat anybody up until Penn State. I mean, it was a big statement game for Oregon. They beat 4 cupcakes on the way to their first real test. They had their in-state rival game last week against Oregon State, but Oregon State is terrible this year. Yeah, but I got to take back everything I said about C.J. Carr last week, 354 yards and 4 touchdowns against Arkansas. Holy crap. Yeah. Notre Dame 56 points on Arkansas. Woo.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, I watched a little bit.
Yeah, and Neil, I sent him the link. I don't know if he's
a big Notre Dame
or
fan.
not, but he was talking about CJ Carr. Is CJ Carr draft eligible?
He's a freshman.
I thought he was younger than. I thought he
was a freshman.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
He was draft eligible yet.
Yeah, a lot of the quarterbacks that were supposed to be good this year suck. I mean, I don't know if the draft class is gonna be all that good next year. Like Nussmeier looks bad. It's just DJ Lagway hasn't played up to his potential.
Fuck is
for all that talent,
That's a big motherfucker.
Who, Caden Proctor?
No, 80 on the fucking Steelers. That's a big
Darnell Washington.
That's Darnell Washington?
Yeah. He's like 6'7", 280.
Motherfucker look like Jerome Bettis with height.
Yeah.
It's a big boy, man.
Yep. Yeah, I thought the Vikings
That's
were going
what
to
he was doing to Georgia.
The Vikings defense, man, I don't know. It's like there's the Aaron Rodgers is terrible against pressure this year. They must not be getting any pressure against the Steelers.
And you said that he
just
gets
got it right there. He just got sacked.
Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Oh man, I'm sorry. We're off the rails. Where are we at
now? Let's see. We talked some Georgia, Alabama. We talked Oregon, Penn State. To go into Penn State on their whiteout at night, freaking.
I was going to say, according to college football,
30 to 24.
Yeah, I was going to say, according to college football, that's the most intimidating stadium to play in.
Yeah. I got to give a little credit to number 14 Iowa State, man. We put a whipping on Arizona yesterday, 39-14. I didn't think, sorry, Coach. He's a big Penn State fan. Sorry, brother.
He's hurting today, y'all.
I know. He's out on James Franklin. A lot of people are. Sean, my partner on Weekend Sports Betting Tips, says James Franklin never could win the close games or the big games or whatever. He could cover us the small spreads,
I was gonna say, what big game have they won?
I watched him.
My thing about Penn State, every year they're ranked highly, but they never beat anybody big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched James Franklin at Vanderbilt do the same kind of thing where he kind of and the SEC was a little weaker then. Kentucky was obviously Kentucky, but at that time Georgia was in between. I think it was before Kirby Smart got there, so he was kind of able to eat in that SEC East that was kind of down, and then he parlayed that into him getting the big gig at Penn State, and they beat who they're supposed to beat, but they don't beat, like you said, the Oregons, the Ohio States, the Michigans when they're good. They tend to lose all those games. They're close in them a lot of times, so they don't get blown out, which I guess you can give them credit for that. But they just for whatever. And Drew Aller, like you were talking about the quarterback class, Drew Aller was another guy he has the size, the look of the NFL quarterback that you want, but when the game's on the line, it's really difficult to trust him. He likes to give it away. Go ahead.
Who's that damn quarterback from Penn State that they had that everybody was really high on because he looked like the prototypical NFL quarterback?
Drew Aller?
No, the one before Drew Aller.
What was his
Will
name?
Levis came from Penn State before he went to Kentucky.
No, it's that other kid, the one that kind of had like a baby face.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, Bo Pribula.
Oh, we both clicked.
Yeah, where's Pribula?
He went to Mizzou.
I forgot. Missouri. That's right. Yep.
I can't remember what that kid's name was, but they were talking about him being a first rounder, and you just kind of looked at it like there's no way. Hackenberg.
Oh, Christian Hackenberg.
Oh yeah.
Going way back. Yeah, Hackenberg. Yep.
He reminds me of Christian Hackenberg. Like everybody's like, oh my God, he can be so good. He has the prototypical size. He can be this, he can be that. No. No. I don't see it, man. Like,
yeah. But to Matthew Focchisi's point, for guys like Trace McSorley and Berlissimo here in the chat with it too, those are the kind of guys that James Franklin actually wins with, is the guys that you don't see coming. They're just kind of sneaky athletic. They can do things that you don't get out of your prototypical quarterback. It's just I think Oregon may go for the national championship this year. Yeah. We as much as we talk about Drew Aller blowing the game, that quarterback at Oregon went there in a transfer portal era and sat on the bench and learned the offense, learned the system, and finally gets the keys this year to Oregon's offense. And they look like they've got it all running. I might start looking at them in the trenches to see what their O-line, D-line guys look like for us, because we're definitely needing some trench play on both sides of the ball.
Good D tackle, don't they? He's either D tackle or
I know they got a damn good end. I think he's the next coming of the ukulele, I think is how you say their name, DJ and all those dudes that came. I think
I said the same shit. Goddamn ukulele, goddamn it. Ain't that an instrument?
It says the offense we run doesn't match what Drew does best. Maybe that's true. Maybe he's one of those guys and maybe that'll help him. Maybe he'll drop to, I don't know, someone grabs him in the third or fourth round and he can go. Look, the LA Rams, they've got
size.
Matthew Stafford and his. Right, yeah. You got
like
6'5", 235 quarterbacks.
Yeah. You can't teach that kind of
He's
size.
Definitely got the size that you look for. Yeah.
Yep. I was going to say, Barry Leeson was talking about the Oregon left tackle.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I know. Even though Braxton Jones held his own last week, it's a contract year for him. Are we going to pay him like a bona fide left tackle, or are we going to try and draft somebody? What are we seeing in Trapillo and Darnell Wright's in almost the same position where his contract's coming up? And I love Darnell Wright, but what's he going to ask for in the open market? What can he get in the open market as far as right tackles? When you see guys like Lane Johnson, just kind of being steady and being great, there's not a lot of those walking around. So it'd be interesting to see kind of what he asks for when his time comes. Alabama beat Georgia. I was shocked because I thought Georgia's defense would just show up, and they did for a lot of that game. It was a 3-point game forever, it seemed like. Georgia's receiver, you never see it. The receiver, the ball hits him right in the hands going into the end zone, and he just dropped it. That was a game winner when Kirby Smart kind of went to put the nail in the coffin there and failed to do so. Didn't take the points. He went for it. But yeah, I mean, after that, Alabama just kind of started running clock because they were up 3. Yep. But it was a downfall of college football to run these games at the same time. Now, if you got quiet, like I told you guys before we came on, I was quad boxing, but man, it's how many people are able to watch both these guys and give it the utmost attention? Because like Penn State for a long time was down 2 scores, so I was like, well, I guess I could stop paying attention to that. Kentucky was getting murdered in South Carolina, so I wasn't really watching that. It was on the screen, but I wasn't really watching it. But it's terrible to run all these games at the same time. It makes it so hard for us football fans to take in great football when they're all at the same time. And shout out Chris, he found out he can watch college ball with what he watches his NFL with. He watched a couple of games yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something to like game 4 to realise that I can actually watch any college football with my NFL package. So I ended up watching the Georgia Tech game against Wake Forest, which was a really good game. I started watching Notre Dame game, but you can just tell it was going to be a blowout after the first half. So I flipped it over, watched that, and then I watched a bit of the LSU and Ole Miss game, but I did fall asleep, so I've got no idea who actually won that game. So it's just I really enjoyed it, man. Really enjoyed it.
Ole Miss won that game. LSU has a really good defense again. Their offense is terrible, which is another shocker. We thought Nussmeier was going to be potential number 1 overall pick to the Saints, and now he just I don't know what his deal is. They can't run the ball. Couldn't happen to a better person if you ask Irish fans. They lost their coach Brian Kelly to LSU, but LSU defensively they got some dogs over there. So that's something to watch. But I mean, you said you fell asleep. Well, so did the Tigers' offense. So you didn't miss. As much as you thought.
Good. I didn't miss a high play.
Ole Miss very quietly 5-0 and 3-0 in the SEC.
Yep.
Hey, Jason's. You're giving Jason some tips here, Chris. He didn't know they could watch college ball on his own game.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, when you're back home from your honeymoon, you can watch. It's not like I think they seem to have like practically every game what we're going on. So and it's not costing anything extra. So it's something I didn't realise until yesterday. Like an idiot I am.
Well, I mean, the good thing for you, though, Chris, is especially in Big Ten, if you become a Big Ten fan, they usually, other than the game yesterday, they usually have their big game at noon. They call it Big Noon Kickoff because they can really carve out that block because the SEC runs kind of trash schedule at noon and all the other conferences do. So if you fall in love with the Big Ten and that style of football, usually at noon, which is a good time for you, you'd be able to pick up a really good game.
I did catch a bit of the Illinois game, and they look a bit of a powerhouse this year. And I know, like, obviously being a Bears fan, that's like a bit of a homer. Is it? No. So I wanted to ask this. So if you're a Bears fan, you live in Chicago, Who do you support? Who's your college team? Is it Notre Dame or Northwest or Illinois? Or
Nobody likes Northwestern. Let's
right.
like I
They
said,
won yesterday. Didn't they win yesterday against UCLA?
Who, Northwestern?
Yeah.
Did.
I'd be shocked.
I think we won yesterday against UCLA.
Like I said, I'm always going to be partial to Illinois. My auntie was an alumni of Illinois, so I'm always going to be partial to Illinois. They have a sneaky okay quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
They have a sneaky okay quarterback, but we got our ass whooped by Indiana. Good God, they handed us a whooping.
They have Olin Kreutz's son down there playing center for them, though. So you got that going for you as well. If
I was gonna say they have a really interesting defensive end that if we don't take a defensive end in the first round, if there was a way that we could sneak and get Lacus from Illinois, we'd be mad. I believe that's the guy's name. Gabe Lacus. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but he's an unrated defensive end. I wouldn't mind getting him, but nah. If you from Chicago, you just you
hop in perfect timing. We're
gotta talk a little.
What did I do?
College ball, and Chris is trying to pick him a college team. He notices he's able to finally watch it. And he thought, Chicago, maybe they're Illinois fans. They wear the same colors and stuff, but no one can speak on this more than Stopchinski here. He's a big Notre Dame and Bears fan there in the area. If you want to talk some college ball with us, man.
See, Dub, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, man. If you're not picking the Irish, you're fucking it up.
Don't do it.
I think that comment, Neil, I don't have much choice for that comment.
Say again, buddy.
I feel like I don't have much choice after that comment.
Man, flying high after that one, boys.
I already ate my crow on CJ Carr this morning after yesterday, Neil.
There you go. Hey, told you, man.
I know.
Told you. I saw that kid throw live at a combine, during his, well, I guess entering as a rising junior, right? That would have been like spring of 2021, I think, potentially. Yeah, because he's from the area.
Yep.
So I saw him throw live in his combine in like the western suburbs of Chicago, man. That kid could spin it then, spin it now, and it was pretty easy to figure it out. Just watch him drop back a couple times and launch that pigskin down the field, and that's the guy. That is the guy right there.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Any other?
I mean, even in games that you lost, like week. Games you lost like week 1, the quarterback was there. They just decided to finally find out they had Jeremiah Love yesterday, Neil.
I mean, what were we doing the first couple weeks of the season, man? Why are we not giving that kid the rock?
Hey, man,
that kid needs to touch the ball at minimum 25 times a game.
They were tanking his stock so we can draft them in Chicago. That's all.
That's exactly right. Hey, let's draft that kid yesterday and go ahead and throw in Jadarian Price with him. Cheat our asses off, whatever we got to do to make sure that we get both those kids suiting up in orange and Navy. Yep. I'm telling you. Boy, Jeremiah Love.
I can co-sign with that.
Hell yeah. Jeremiah Love, man. I forget who the broadcast crew mentioned yesterday that somebody said that he reminds them of Reggie Bush, which, fair comparison, Reggie Bush didn't exactly have a great deal of success in the league. He was around for a while, but he wasn't like he was in college in the league. Let's hope that Jeremiah Love has a better professional career than Reggie Bush did. I mean, in terms of longevity, Reggie Bush was around for about 10 years or so, right? Yeah, he had a couple contracts.
Yeah. I was gonna say he was Saints, Detroit. Who was
Miami
after Detroit? Miami.
I thought it was from New Orleans to Miami. I thought that's what it was. He was in Detroit.
Yeah, he was fucking us up in Detroit for a while.
Man, why do I not remember that? Was that during college when I blacked out half the time?
Might have been.
Let's see here. Reggie Bush career. Thing about that is, boys, is you don't play games with Everclear. That's what you don't do.
Absolutely not. You don't play with Everclear. That's the fallout.
That is crossed the line. I think is
That's
what
the
that
sentence.
That's the sentence. You don't play with Everclear.
Oh yeah, I made that mistake once or twice. So Reggie Bush, 2006 to 2010 with New Orleans. He went from New Orleans straight to Miami, 11-12. Went from Miami to Detroit, 13-14. And then a stop in San Francisco, stop in Buffalo, retired in 2016. So, 10-year career, got a couple contracts out of there. Yeah, he only crossed the 1,000-yard mark twice. Once in his first year in Miami, his first year in Detroit.
I was going to say, I know one of the years in Detroit he did.
Outside of that, man, he did a pretty good job in, receiving the ball out of the backfield, though, too. So, 5,490 career rushing yards, 3,598 career receiving yards involved in the return game.
I was going to say,
man.
I don't remember how Love is a little bit bigger, though, I think, doesn't he? A little bit
6 foot.
Yeah.
No.
It looks
Yeah,
big.
Reggie, let's see.
Reggie's about what, 5'10", 5'11"?
We'll look up Reggie Bush's combine performance, see what we were, officially got him at.
I mean, Jeremiah Love had 5 catches for 70 yards, a couple touchdowns yesterday. I mean, that's what you want. The double threat for Ben Johnson's offense.
Is
he had 2 rushing and 2
Price
receiving.
coming out too?
So he was.
He had a touchdown, 2 rushing, also 4 touchdowns yesterday. Yeah, 14 for 57, 4.1 yards.
On fire.
Reggie Bush at the combine, 5'11", 201.
So,
Bigger than I thought he was.
6 foot 210, maybe. For Love.
Jeremiah Love. Let's see what they have him listed as on the.
They got him listed at 214.
Yeah,
6 foot 214.
215. Yep.
Yeah, so in theory, an inch taller. In theory, 13 pounds heavier. We'll see what that actually ends up being at the combine, but
yep.
You know how these websites work.
Neil, how fast do you think Jeremiah gonna run?
I think it'll be 4.4 or better.
Yep.
I mean, when you see him opening it up sometimes, man, even yesterday, that one kind of cutback touchdown run that he had on the near sideline going in, he was just jogging and running past guys. He was jogging, dude. I think that kid's going to blaze a trail. It's going to look like Back to the Future out there with the fire tracks running right behind him. That's what it's going to look like.
Hey man, at this point, I'll take a goddamn DeLorean in the backfield instead of the Toyota Miata Mazda Miata we got in the back right now. DeAndre Swift.
Hey, the Miata is a nice little race car, though. That's a nice little race car.
Out on the open road. You get it on the
You ever seen one of those things autocross? a Miata running autocross? That's a perfect machine for that now. Mm-hmm. So let's not disparage the Mazda Miata.
Oh man. We say Focheese says this is biased, so y'all really think Love is the number one. I think he might be, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. Now this is coming from somebody who's a Michigan fan. He would probably be my first running back off the board.
Yep.
Focheese, am I biased? 1,000%. But also, I've seen that tailback play more than any other tailback in college football right now for obvious reasons. And I mean, regardless of who else is out there, sign him right now. I'm great with it. I'm great with it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's sort of like
I'm
you're going
guys,
to the store,
as you know, and I got Love number 1 as well.
Yeah. It's like you're going to the supermarket. You know exactly what you know exactly what 6-pack of beer or what bottle of booze or what sandwich you want to buy from the deli or whatever the case may be, man. You know exactly what you want. You go straight for it and you go get it.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Miata run into a bus? No, but I can promise you that it ain't pretty.
I got to imagine at some point, I mean, I just go straight underneath that bus. Is what happens. I think it just goes straight underneath it. It'll go straight underneath the tractor trailer. I'll tell you that.
Right. I was gonna say in this upcoming draft, two-part question. How early are you taking a running back? Is one. And second, do you take 2 running backs in this draft, or do you look for other options?
I don't think you take 2. I don't think that's necessary. We took one guy last year. I got to imagine at some point that kid's going to develop into something.
Yep.
If they ever put him on the field to do some work, let's get that kid on the field and see what he can do. But I don't think you take 2. I think that you got to do the best job possible taking the 1, and then you do a bunch of work in the trenches. I think if you go through another draft without taking an edge rusher, there will be a mutiny in the streets of Chicago.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And there needs to be a left tackle situation that needs to be solved. That needs to be probably taken care of in the draft, I would assume. I think that if you take this first round pick and don't do anything besides tailback, edge rusher, or left tackle, there will be a mutiny in the streets of Chicago. I think that those are the 3 biggest things we got to make sure that get shored up, and obviously we got to get that secondary healthy as well. We got to get dudes in the secondary that can actually stick around and play. Kyler Gordon out again, unbelievable.
Is he out today? That was questionable. They haven't listed the inactives yet, but
TJ Edwards out. Oh well, Kyler Gordon's questionable, which is good. Darnell Wright out, Grady Jarrett out, TJ Edwards out. 3 key players.
Yep.
2 defensive players, right up the middle there too. Right up the middle. So yeah, if Kyler plays today, thank God. Thank God we have another starting DB that's somewhat healthy at least. But still, are we going to stick him at the nickel, cover the slot, or are we going to have him on the perimeter? What are we going to do with that?
He needs to be outside.
That's what I'm thinking.
Put him inside.
He also is our best slot defender, though, too.
He is, but at the same time,
I put him on Brock Bowers if he's healthy.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, if Brock Bowers, I just thought about that. If Brock Bowers is playing, I would probably put him in this game in particular, just this game, to run with Brock Bowers. But any other, my thought process is you need to have your best corners right now on the outside, and that would be Gordon and Tariq Stevenson.
Yeah.
I mean, that brings up the interesting question about a couple other players that are sitting out there. I know the one that a lot of people probably would be like, hell no to, but he has experience in the Dennis Allen scheme.
Who we talking about?
What's my man's name? He's the asshole that plays safety and slot.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yes.
Oh.
That's the one I believe everybody would probably be like, no, but I mean, at a certain point, if there was a way to get the guy in, I mean, he could play slot corner for you while you got Kyler on the outside. Like I said, the other one to me that I'm looking at is waiting to see what happens with Asante Samuel Jr. I wouldn't mind giving him a shot. He's another small corner, so.
Yeah, you need physicality for sure.
That would be
on that assignment for sure. You need some physicality.
That would definitely be Gardner.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That's one of those dudes. I feel like I don't know. Like somebody said, he's supposed to be a bit of a locker room issue. I'm not sure that's the case. I haven't necessarily heard that, but he is a colossal pain in the ass, though. On in between the white lines, he is a colossal pain in the ass. And he's one of those players where you love to have him if he's on your team, and you hate to play against him if you're on the other side.
Yeah,
that's kind of one of those things.
Yeah,
I think I have no idea about the whole locker room thing. That's something I'd have to research and probably make some phone calls about. But
Neil,
that's exactly it. Barrelissimo. CGJ, great to have on your team. He's an asshole anywhere. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying there.
1,000%. Were you saying that, Tucher?
I was going to ask you how you feel about Caleb Williams' development under Ben Johnson, because I mean I have courtesy of chat now, but from 2024 last season to this season, there's a marked improvement between touchdown interception ratio, quarterback rating. He's running more. His feet and calmness in the pocket are improved. Talk a little bit about how whether what you think about his development.
I mean, you can see it through 4 games. It is evident on the field. It's not like we're the only time we would be able to notice improvement would be if we were at practice, where we were in the film room, or whatever that case may be. I mean, yeah, that the one thing at the top you're automatically going to stare at it is the record 2024 1-3, 2025 1-3. That is what that is. But wait, we're not 1-3 right now.
Not 1-3 yet. Yeah, they made a mistake. But
we're 1-2 right now. We're 1-2.
Yep.
About to be 2-2 today. I would assume. But you just look at those numbers though. It's efficient. I mean, last week, looking at it right here, 19-28, 298.
Yep.
Four tuds, no picks. Quarterback rating of 85.9, overall rating of 142.6, damn near perfect passing rating. Only 16 points off the perfect mark there. 10.6 yards per pass. That is, last week was damn near perfect.
Yeah.
And it almost got off to a bad start because I said Jeremiah Love, jeez. Swift's elbow got hit when he was tossing the ball back to Caleb on that flea flicker.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember who it was that got pushed in the back. Was it Dahlman that got pushed into the backfield? And as Love, I did it again, dude. Hey, what is that? Freudian slip? Is that a Freudian slip? Is that what that's called?
He's on the Bears next year. Speaking into existence.
I'm trying to as hard as possible. Hey, I'm speaking this into the universe as hard as I possibly can.
Yeah.
To make sure that happens. But Swift goes ahead and gets his elbow jacked as he's trying to toss that ball back to Caleb. I thought, oh man, here we go, dude. Here we go. We're Bearsing the hell out of this whole thing from the very jump here. But man, that arm talent was on display on that very specific throw. 62 point something yards in the air, dropped it straight into the bucket for Luther Burden. Man.
Yeah.
Man, and he was flat-footed as well. And he was flat-footed as well.
Yeah, right.
So all in his arm and his wrist.
Yeah.
He made some big-time throws in that game. There was one where he hit Luther Burden for a 30-yard gain. It was in between, the safeties and linebackers where, he hit that level right on the money to Burden. And then there was one play where it was a naked bootleg play fake. And a free runner coming at him, and he jumped and threw a ball. I think it was to Rome on the right sideline. That not on a broken play that should have been a sack.
He got killed on that play too.
He got killed, and he made the throw.
Yeah,
man,
he's strong in the pocket, man.
Yep,
he has developed some steel balls in the pocket there.
Yeah, when
sticking around and delivering the football.
I was just gobsmacked when I saw that play. I'm like, God damn, should have been a sack, loss of yards, and he jumped and threw over the defender and made the throw with his arm, a strong arm throw. So yeah, I'm really impressed with Caleb this season. Coaching matters.
It does.
Man, we had terrible coaches for the last 2.5 years. And this year we have coaches, man. I love Ben Johnson. I think he's a great coach so far. I really like what I've seen. Now, the first 2 games, I mean, look, I blame it a lot on the collective bargaining agreement. We don't really have we have one less preseason game to get in form and less contact practice. A lot of teams rest their starters. So you could say maybe we weren't really ready for the first 2 games. The first game they collapsed and a letdown spot in Detroit after the Vikings game, and then Ben Johnson coming out and saying, "Hey man, our practice habits, not good," and lighting a fire under their asses. Yeah, that's it. Lighting a fire under their asses. They responded. The Cowboys are not a good team. Our defense is horrible, but we won. We did what had to be done.
The whole thing about that, though, Tucher, is we're talking about the fire being lit on the proverbial ass.
Yeah. Yep.
Bears teams of the past would have probably collapsed.
Exactly.
Teams of the past would have probably put their tail between their legs and not shown up.
Yep, totally turtled.
And this team came out and just whooped somebody's ass. It doesn't. Hey, those are NFL guys too.
Yeah.
And the quarterback is widely talked about as somebody that could potentially be a top 5 quarterback if he was healthy, or if he had pieces around him, or whatever the case. Everybody wants to talk about Dak Prescott, and that's fine. He earned that, right? He kind of earned that. But those are NFL players too.
Did you see?
And supposedly their coach is good, and so they came out and just straight up whooped someone's ass. Yep. And we haven't seen that in a while, and that's why I think it's so impressive.
The quarterback behind Dak Prescott, we got a little look at him, Joe Milton. Kind of gotta like what you saw from him, man.
He is an absolute athlete, dude.
Yeah. Yep. He can spin it too.
Yeah. He's an athlete. He can spin the rock. He can push that thing up and down the field, which not necessarily something that we saw most of his college career, but towards the end there, when he actually got into an offense that allowed him to do some work.
Yep. If they move on from Dak Prescott, I think they have a fairly good chance of being set at the quarterback position there. Mm-hmm. If we're talking Bears Raiders today, Neil, I can't. I was talking with Chris about this before the show, but I can't. It feels like a classic letdown spot for the Bears. You're whipping someone's ass, and then you're traveling on the road to a team that maybe is they are NFL players, like you said, but maybe they're not taking as seriously as they should be. But this is a must-win game. You got a chance to go into the bye 2-2 instead of 1-3, and then you come out of the bye against the Commanders in that same revenge spot as we were last season. We were 4-2, and after we lost to that Commanders on the Fail Mary, it was 10 straight losses.
Fail Mary. So
the Fail Mary, we went on a 10-game losing streak. But it feels like a classic letdown spot. I want to see how Ben Johnson scripts this game, motivates his team and whatnot. It's a big test here to see what this team really is, because a lot of people, of course, are saying, were the Bears really good or the Cowboys just really bad, or a combination of both. Thoughts on the spot for the Bears, the context, the spot for the Bears.
Well, the last thing you said, I think that's one of those classic two things can be true at once. Cowboys are absolute, horseshit, and the Bears went ahead and did played a damn near perfect game. I think I think when you play a perfect game like that, that's the outcome you should, pretty much go ahead and come out with. An absolute trashing of an NFL football team. Berlusmo had a good comment earlier, 10-10. You have one job, do it, and dominate the man across from you. Absolutely.
Yep.
And then the other thing too, Jason, UK Bears right before them. Everybody forgets that the Cowboys put up a lot of points on the Eagles, but we kicked their ass. It's just the Cowboys. That's all it is. It's just a lowly Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that the Bears were favored by 1.5 on that one by kickoff. I'm not sure what the opening line was, but that was 1.5 favoritism towards the Bears from Vegas. But today, again, if we're going to talk about classic Bears, certainly a letdown situation. I think that is certainly what we're talking about if we're talking about classic Bears. However, you can also look at this as a foundation game. Kind of set the concrete last week, and now start building this damn house. Is kind of how I look at this a little bit. Because if they go out there and put up a similar performance today in a stadium that is going to be, I think, 55% Chicago Bears in attendance in terms of ticket sales, I think that's what the analysts were saying. It'll feel like last week's game in terms of like a home sort of energy. You're not going to be on Soldier Field. You're not going to be sitting right there next to Lake Michigan, but you're going to be in a cozy dome in the middle of the desert without a whole lot of weather impacts. A beautiful 72 degrees inside, no wind. You're just a little AC blowing through. Oh man!
Hopefully they check back into their hotel early instead of staying out on the strip all night. But
if I could guess, Ben Johnson would whoop someone's ass if that were the case. I think Ben Johnson would absolutely get after somebody.
I mean, sorry, Neil. It'd just be great to see the Bears get some momentum, because a lot to do in sport is getting the momentum and getting the belief after you have a win and sticking to that standard. And I just can't see Ben Johnson, letting that slip. He seems a very intense coach and a very detailed coach. So I can't imagine he'll let the players sort of sit on the laurels from last week, really.
Yeah, and again, that's exactly what I'm talking about, though. That's exactly what I'm talking about with Ben. I think he's got that thing tightened up. Hey, we're in Vegas, but we're not here to have a good time. We have a good time after we win. Absolutely, let's go ahead and have a good time after we whoop their ass. But hey, we're here to build a foundation right now. We're gonna take care of this team. We're gonna go into our bye week. We're gonna get healthy. We need to get healthy. Very, very important positions we need to get healthy on. Who's starting at right tackle today, by the way?
Theo.
Is it Theo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not Ozzy. It's Theo. I'm great with that. Either way we go with it, great with it. If it's Theo, hell, this is our first chance to see what that kid can actually do. Absolutely.
Let's get.
I don't know how I feel about our national mascot being draped with that particular flag, but that whatever puts the juice down deep down within Theo Benedict, I'm great with. Yeah, man, this has to be. If we cannot, the only thing that cannot happen is us going out there laying an egg. That cannot be something that happens. You need to get out there, set the tone like we have been first couple weeks. Last week, I think, was the first time that the opening script didn't produce points, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you're right, Neil. Yes.
Yeah. So we got to, let's get back to the first 2 weeks of this thing.
Did we not
opening
score?
script? Let's move the ball down the field, score some points, put some points on the board. What's the pressure on them? What were you saying, RBK?
We didn't score the first drive?
No. The
first one, 3-and-out first drive.
Yeah, 3-and-out.
3-and-out.
Yeah,
okay.
3-and-out first drive because Matt Eberflus went ahead and pinned the ears back on those edge rushers and just got to kill Williams' ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, AC still here?
I think my boy AC trying to get everything figured out.
All right. Let's see. We got any questions or
what's going on? We got technical difficulties?
I think
my boy AC been dealing with internet issues since last year. What you mean?
It's usually my fault for being so far away, but this year I'm kicking the ass.
Yeah, baby C-Dubs.
You've been good, bro.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah. We got a fantasy football goon coming up in about 15 minutes, a little less than that. Myself, Joe, and Adam Sham will be breaking down some picks for today. Let's see. Yeah. So we'd go around the horn, give some picks, shout outs and stuff, or you guys got anything else before we do that?
No, I can't think of it. No.
Rock and roll, teacher.
All right. Yeah, you want to start us off, C-Dub? We'll go counterclockwise back up to me.
Cool. Yeah. Obviously, shout out to you boys. It's always a great Sunday afternoon to spend with you boys, and especially after a great Bears win last week. It doesn't happen very often, and not in that sort of style as well. I think the Bears are going to carry on the momentum. I just, like I just said to Neil, I just can't see Ben Johnson letting details slip just because of one victory. So I'm going to give the Bears a win at 28-14. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Aldo for the channel. Please subscribe and give us a likes. It's always nice for our egos. But I think the Bears are going to pull it out, man. Pick up this momentum into the bye week, and then they can do a bit of self-scouting. And then, obviously the big game against Washington, the payback game. So, I'm giving the Bears to win 28-14.
All right, KB.
Hey man, first of all, like always, boy, shout out to the chat. Chat's awesome as usual, man. Some good feedback, some good questions in there, man. Loving it this morning. Shout out to you boys as always. But you know what I'm saying, my boy AC trying to get things situated there. We know how it is, brother. We know how it is. Like I said, also again, boy, shout out to the boy C-Dub again on the birthday, man. Like I said, that's 52
Cheers, mate.
Brother. Birthday? We got a birthday boy.
Oh yeah,
yes. I'm getting to the wrong side of 50 now. So I turned 52. So it's one of them birthdays where nobody ever comes up to you and goes, "Hey, you've turned 52." So
you're 52.
Well,
you're not. You're not 52.
I'm 52.
Jeez.
I'm 57.
I'm looking.
You look 57.
That's 5 years.
I'm kidding, too. I'm kidding. I love
Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes.
I'm gonna get a Bowflex deal.
Hijack your thing, RBK. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I hijacked the hell out of it.
No, like I said, man, shout out to all y'all, man. You know, I love getting on here talking with you boys, man. It's the therapy session that we need after a long week, whether it's a win or a loss. Also, that being said, you gotta ride the hype of I hope we win. I don't like how we tend to do these things where, like I said, this is usually a letdown game for us. I'm hoping that coaching does change that and we have a dub going into the bye. So I'll go this game, I'll say, because it seems like we put up points. I'll say Bears 28, Raiders 17. I'm gonna give it like my keys to the game. Run in Max Crosby. If you can beat them up early, maybe that slows the rush down later on in the game. So, yeah, that's what I got, man. Go ahead, Neil.
I love it, man.
You give us a score?
Oh, yeah, 28-17.
28-17. Nice. Like it.
I would love it if we went ahead and did a Notre Dame style colossal ass whooping of the Oakland Raiders today.
That would be nice.
Vegas Raiders. Jays. That would be awesome. If it was like 56-13 type of situation, that would be absolutely amazing, I would think.
That'd be fantastic.
I know we all would love that. We would have such a great time on next week's show if that were the case.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think points are definitely going to be scored in a massive way. I like Robbie's prediction right here, 41-17. That's kind of where I'm at a little bit on it. I think it's going to be somewhere in the 40s. About 41 to 44 points for the Bears, about 13 to 17 points for the Raiders. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Because like I said, I think that, yeah, historically, probably letdown game. This situation feels different. This feels like a foundational game for us. And if like right now we are up and to the right on everything. Mm-hmm. I know last week was basically a perfect performance. You know, it's kind of hard to follow that up. That's kind of like, you know, going out after Michael Jackson on stage. But you know, if they play even remotely close to anything that we saw last week, I think it's going to be a lot to a little. So let's go ahead and say 41-13 type of thing. You know, we'll stay kind of like on the low end of where I think the points could potentially fall for both teams.
Nice.
All right. Got my player props at the bottom for today. Just some ones I like. I'm gonna say I don't want to pick against the Bears because I hate, you know, I want to root for them, you know. So I'm gonna take the Bears 24-20. And that's all I got to say. Tune in for Fantasy Football Goon right after this. AC
just dropped back in.
The stranger.
That facial accessory is looking glorious.
I'm
AC.
trying. It's still showing me I got one freaking bar up here. I don't know what the deal is, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I got Bears winning 35-14. Roma Dunze catching 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams balls out again against this terrible Las Vegas Raiders secondary. Thank you all for joining me and holding it down for me. I don't know what's going on. I bought a Wi-Fi extender and everything to try and make my podcasting career work, and here we are.
Google Fiber there yet?
I pay for top of the line Wi-Fi. Trust me. I got the top Spectrum is the cable here. I have the top one that they have. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But
AC, I got some solutions for you. We'll talk
like,
off.
Comment,
we'll talk
subscribe.
Off
bear down, y'all.
Bear down.
All right, brother.
Bear down.
I got